there's only so much money you can make
Yeah.
just treating a patient, and that's it. Like, I know there's cash-based therapists. Like, I mean, how high can you go? At some point, you're going to outprice your market. You know what I mean? You're going to go 500 a session. I mean, and by the way, you can do that. They're just going to come for like 1 or 2 times. Most people.
Welcome everyone to the Clinic Boss Show. Like, I'm Rick Lau and I'm your host. And for the people that don't know my journey, I grew and exited 127. I grew and exited 127 location. Now a $37 billion grocery chain owned my clinics. And now I make Instagram videos for a living, right, Greg?
Yes.
And I'm on this journey to meet kind of the coolest healthcare entrepreneurs in the world on how to get smarter in business and life. And if this sounds like you came to the right place, and we got a special guest today. We got Greg, and Greg, maybe in a few minutes, how would you describe everyone on the show, who you are, what you do, and what lights you up?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me on, Rick. I really appreciate it. I love talking to you anytime we get to chat. It's fantastic. So I'm a physical therapist by trade. I've been a physical therapist technically for 23 years. My license is actually coming up for renewal next month. And I'm still trying to decide if I want to keep it because I haven't treated in 6.5 years. So I'm a physical therapist by trade. I am what you call the anti-entrepreneur. I became a physical therapist.
I don't understand what that means.
Okay, I'll explain it. So I think a lot of us went into physio, and we went into it because we felt like it was going to be a super stable job. It's going to be a stable job. You're going to get a stable living. You never had to worry about money coming in. And that was the main reason why I chose it. I wanted to work with sports, but I wanted stability because I saw my father hustle really hard in the financial services game. And I saw him have lots of ups, but I saw him also have a lot of downs. And so my main reason for doing physical therapy was so that I didn't have to be like my dad. And my dad was a solopreneur, an entrepreneur. He had a team and then lost his team. And he's still a solopreneur today at the age of 75. So when I say I'm the anti-entrepreneur, I didn't want to be an entrepreneur. I didn't want to. But 4 years into me being a licensed physical therapist, my wife and I started having problems because she was pregnant with our second child. And even though I was making enough money for us to make ends meet, I wasn't able to be emotionally there for her because I was working so much day to day in the clinic that I was a part of, which was a corporate company called Core Rehabilitation. And so I couldn't win the time game. And I came to the realization in 2005 that I had a choice. And my choice was either I was going to continue to work for the man, not win the time game, and potentially lose my wife, or I was going to now do the thing I said I would never do, which is entrepreneurship, so that I could have at least the potential to win the time game and potentially keep the wife and the kids. And so I decided to do the latter. And today I am a serial entrepreneur. I have multiple businesses, and I have clinics. I have 3 clinics that I'm still a part of. I'm not part of the day-to-day anymore, but I have clinics. I have a virtual staffing agency. I do coaching and consulting for business in the healthcare space, and I own investment properties for vacation rentals.
Are you still married, Greg?
Yeah, I'm still married. 23 years. 23 years. 4 kids.
Is it 4 kids?
4 kids.
Wow.
Being homeschooled right now in the other rooms. So yeah, so that's what I've done. And that's why I'm the anti-entrepreneur. I didn't want to do it. I felt like a lot of entrepreneurs today, I felt like I was forced into it. And I think there's certain people where, like, my brother's a great example. He just had the hustle. He's always wanted to be able to create things, this, that, da. And, and so he always wanted to do this. I never wanted to do this. but I felt like I was forced into it.
A
So
lot
I
of
feel like
people
a
in
lot of the
healthcare are like that, eh, Greg? You know,
yeah,
like they're kind of, they're kind of, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people are, and I think, even those of you that are listening, I think at least half, maybe more, that they didn't really want to do this, especially those that are in allied health. We just felt like we were forced into it because we couldn't achieve either clinical freedom, time freedom, or financial freedom. So there you go.
And how do we meet? Do you remember, Greg?
We met at Funnel Hacking Live. It was
yes,
day
at the
one.
Russell Brunson event, right?
Yes, the Russell Brunson event. It was day one. It was in 2018 or 19. I think it was 19 actually. It was a 2019 event, and we met at that bar. It was that bar. Yes. It was me, you
have
Aaron
a good memory, man.
Yeah, bro. Listen, man. I totally remember. And then I found out some stuff about you. You're like, hey, what's up, man? Da 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 da. And your energy was amazing too. I was like, this guy's cool, man. And then we just kind of kept in touch, And just throughout the years, we've done some stuff together, some little collabs, here and there. So you're a good dude,
Russell
man.
Brunson like the best marketer in this world? Like, would you agree? Like, is he on the top of your list?
Yeah,
like,
he's definitely on there. Oh gosh, I would say Russell Brunson. I would say Perry Belcher. I would say Jason Flageline. Have you heard of him?
No.
That guy's pretty impressive. So Perry, I think you probably heard of Perry Belcher. So he was a part of a big company called Digital Marketer. Their convention is like 2 weeks after Funnel Hacking Live, and their convention is actually bigger than Funnel Hacking Live. So Perry was the head guy. It was Perry, a guy named Ryan Dice, and a guy named
Ryan Dice.
Frazier.
Yes, yeah. Ryan Dice, I know. So he's business partner with Ryan Dice, right?
So Ryan Dice, Perry Belcher, and Roland Frazier, they were all business partners together. They broke off. I'm actually in Perry. I was in all of their masterminds. They were together. I was in the mastermind last year, and then this year now Perry broke off of those guys, and I'm in Perry's. Yeah.
Interesting. And are you still in Russell Brunson's mastermind or no?
No. I actually never even really went into his. I go to the event. I couldn't go this year because I had to speak in Texas. But yeah, I heard it's amazing.
Cool.
His event's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, Ryan Dice. That's interesting. And so, I want to start with congrats on being on the cover of Men's Journal. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm super curious. That's amazing, right? I'm super curious. Like, it's a brilliant PR strategy. Like how did you get on there? Like, what was the process? Right?
Okay.
And how much did it cost you?
It cost me having a director of PR. So that's the thing. It's who you know. It's who you know. See, you have an amazing story, right? Rick has parents from Hong Kong that came over here with $5 in their pocket, and basically were able to, hustle, work 80 hours a week, all this stuff. Bro, everybody wants to hear these stories. They want to hear it. These magazines want to hear it. And a lot of them want to hear not just from like the people that you think. They want to hear like, minority stories. They want to hear all of it, right? So the issue is that I thought that, you have to be some movie star, or you had to be this, you had to be that. But if you look at what's happening, just think of the dynamics of what's happening now with social media, and think of how the people that have the most pull are the influencers. It's the people like us that have 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 30,000 followers. Now they're open to having micro influencers like us on their platforms. So here's the deal. I have a good story. I also have a director now of PR, a head of communications. He's got hookups with a lot of these different companies because he's been around the block. So he knew Men's Journal. He knows some people from USA Today. And what you do is you pitch them your story, right? And then they tell you, hey, there's different options. Amazing. Like, hey, we like the story. We like, black dude, this and that, immigrant, made it, da-da-da-da-da, and they like the story, right? And so basically, you now have options, and you can do partnerships with them where it's like, if they don't like the story, there's no shot. But if they love the story.
So what makes a good story? Is it what we just talked about?
Rags to riches. I think rags to riches is one. I think another one is, if if their demo, like for instance, if we have pelvic health people on here, that's not a demo for Men's Journal, right? But that could be a demo for Cosmo, right? So how many people are out there that are like, hey, like for instance, if you're in the pelvic health space, like I would definitely reach out to like some of those companies. So, you know, luckily for me, I had ins because I have somebody that works for me full time that does a lot of my branding stuff and whatnot. And so you just got to know who's the contacts over there that will listen to your story. It's no different than a newspaper, right? Like you can call a newspaper 100%. And you could, right? It's basically the same thing. And if they like it, then they'll listen, you know?
Yeah, I know this. I know this chiropractor in our community. You know, her name's Sapna, and she has a PR publicist, and she is your and her publicist, her PR person is like your director of like communication, and has all the hookup with all the news channels. So every single day, I will see her on like, you know, on the news channel, and she's talking about like product and back pain. She's talking about high heels and back pain and knee pain, and like she's on like main primetime TV. It's insane.
It's amazing. You know? Yeah. So here, can we talk about this a little bit? Because I think what most of us have to understand is that there's really three things that's important for you to be able to grow and sustain your business, right? You got to have awareness first. Like if there's no awareness, there's no point. Like if I was coming out the gate, I wouldn't do what I did with Men's Journal or even what that chiropractor is doing, right? So you got to have awareness first, okay? And then, but once you get awareness, then what you got to do is you got to start nurturing people, okay? And then you start nurturing people. And so that's basically, all right, now awareness is people finally get to know me, right? Like today, maybe on this podcast, there's people that don't know who Greg Todd is. Today might be your first day of knowing who I am. By the way, hi, you know how you doing? All right, so that's awareness. But then once you get to know me, you're either like, hey, I'm interested, or yeah, this guy's not for me, right? So if you're interested, I can start to nurture you, right? You can get on my email list. You can start following me on social media. You can do this, you can do that. Here's the big one. This is where most people buy. Most people buy when it comes to trust. And so when you are being featured in magazines, you're being featured on NBC, ABC, you're being featured on, you know, different nationally syndicated platforms in Canada or in the US or whatever. Now it becomes trust because you're anchored with an authority. And then it also becomes awareness because there are going to be people that don't know you. There are going to be people that pick up Men's Journal and be like, who the heck is this guy? Oh, healthpreneur? Oh, wow. Interesting, right? Okay. And it's like, okay, well, I'm not interested in that, or I am interested in that. So I get the awareness. And then for those that I'm nurturing, when they see that I'm on these big publications now, the nurture now moves to trust even faster. So I wouldn't start this way, but if you got something going, I would start looking into doing this.
This is incredible, social proof. So what experience share can you give to like someone who doesn't have a story, or maybe they're not charismatic, or they're just starting off, they don't have like a big like following, you know, right? Like what would you get like how would you redo this all over again, Greg, in the very beginning when you were just like starting off?
It's so
and
funny
you didn't know about your story yet, right?
I didn't know my story yet. Okay, all right. So here's what I would do. I would do exactly what it is that I'm doing now. Because by the way, I'm starting over again. Okay, so I got to tell you all this. I was able to build my YouTube channel, which is what I was primarily known for. So I have like nearly 30K on Instagram, 12K on TikTok, close to 20K on Facebook. But the big one for me was YouTube. I lost my YouTube channel. My VA in the Philippines, somebody hacked their account, got into my YouTube channel, made all 1,300 of my videos private, and put up a bunch of things telling people to buy crypto from Greg Todd.
Ah, geez.
YouTube shut down my account. That was like so many of my leads. I'm talking, I probably made $1 million from just people going to my YouTube videos, reaching out to me via my website, buying my programs, right? Okay. So now I say that because I'm starting over right now. So I love the fact that you're saying this. Here's what I would do if I was you. What I would do is I would, first of all, before I even talk about the strategy and the tactics, you must understand that you do have a brand and you do have a story. You might not find it interesting, but it's not for you. I already know my story. I don't find my story interesting, but whenever I tell it, there's somebody in the audience. They might be drunk, but they find me interesting. So they find my, I mean, I'm just being honest with you. They find my story interesting, right? Okay, your story is interesting. It's just not interesting to you. It is interesting. So here's what I do. What I do is I believe every single one of you should create a personal timeline. Okay, so I basically create this long line, like this arrow, right? Start from left to right. Okay, and if you are 50 years old, here's what you're gonna do. What you're gonna do is you're gonna draw 5 lines. A line like from the left, a line at 10 years, a line at 20 years, a line at 30 years, a line at 40 years, and a line at 50 years. Okay, now if you take from 0 to 10, let's take Rick. All right, we're gonna use you, Rick. From 0 to 10, were you born here? Were you born in Canada, or were you born in Hong Kong?
No, I was born here. Yeah.
You're born here. All right. If we take from 0 to 10, there's got to be something, Rick. There's got to be something that happened between 0 and 10 that's got to be interesting. You got in. I know you got in some trouble. There's something you must have done, right? Like, I mean, I'm just thinking for me. I remember this one story of like this kid. He was choking me when I was in kindergarten. We were in the playground, and like I didn't know how to get out of the choke, so I bit him, and I had to go to the principal's office, and I got my butt kicked. Like I got paddled. Okay. Now, like
I failed grade 1. I failed grade 1 because I was dyslexic.
You're dyslexic.
That was my story.
All right. Okay. So see that. And by the way, I don't know if there's anybody listening right now. Either you are dyslexic, or you have a child that's dyslexic, or you have a family member that's dyslexic. And then boom, that allows Rick to be able to connect with certain people. So you got to honor your story, because you do have a story. Okay. You have a story. And even more importantly, there is something that you're doing right now that allows you to earn a living. I talk about that thing. Whatever thing I want to make money from, I show people like the things that I know about that, so that they can evaluate me and decide if I am someone that is credible. You have to start with that. Okay. So that's basically what I would do. Honor that you have a story, and then honor what the heck do you have right now that you're making money from. Okay, so if you're a physio, start talking about things that your uncle, your aunt, your patients always ask you. Start talking about those things. If you can tie it in to stories, it's going to be more powerful. Now, how would I deliver those stories? I would do it in the same way that I'm doing it right now as I'm restarting my YouTube channel. I would do it via short form video. Short form video allows you right now, you guys, there's a very unique time that we have in our media platforms. There is a battle between TikTok and Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram. TikTok was the young kids on the block. There were new kids on the block. Meta, Mr. Zuckerberg, has been able to bully everybody around. If you don't buy, or you don't allow him to buy your company, he will take you out of business. And that worked for him over and over and over again until he got to TikTok. TikTok said, you're not going to bully me around. I am not going to let you buy us. And TikTok has now become the #1 social media platform in the world. Because of that, and the ways TikTok did it is TikTok said, hey, we're going to give the user the ability to get in front of people that aren't their followers. Now, Mr. Zuckerberg is feeling the heat. So he has now done that with his platforms as well. So Facebook has something called Facebook Reels. Instagram has something called Instagram Reels. TikTok has something called TikTok videos. And now YouTube has something called the YouTube Shorts. So the beautiful thing, even today, I just restarted my account. All I am doing is I'm doing YouTube Shorts on my story, who I am. I showed my kids. I show what I'm doing. I might give some advice here and there. And YouTube is now showing it to people. And as of today, I've already got to 180 subs. And I haven't really even released a few, like I haven't even hardly released any videos yet. Like I haven't even, I mean, I've done the videos, I'm strategically, but I'm just doing short form. And it's just showing you, my short form videos this week.
That's insane, dude. 180,000, sorry, 180,000 you said?
No, 180 subscribers, just 180.
Oh, 180, okay.
180, I just started it. Okay. But here's the deal. In the first 2 weeks, I've already gotten 20,000 views.
Okay, cool.
20,000 views.
Yeah. Actually, on that point, Greg, we one of the channels we have, we hit our first 2 million views on a YouTube short. We hit our first 2 million, and and it was a stupid video. It was like 30 seconds, you know, and off that video, I think we added 5,000 subs. It was insane. And it was like, oh my gosh. And so this thing that you're talking about just like the consistency of just pushing out these short videos, whether it's like Instagram or like it is like TikTok or whether it's like YouTube, like it's yeah, it validates that, right? So super.
That's the biggest thing that I would do. I would do that.
Yeah.
And then I think the other thing that I would do is I would do exactly what me and you are doing right now. I would partner. I would come up with a show. I'd come up with a show. I'd have a show because I think most people, when they're getting started, they're like, have nothing to offer to people. So what I would do is if I'm going to collaborate and you have a show, I can tell you something, everybody wants to go on a show. So you can have a show, it could be on Zoom, you can talk with somebody else and just be interested in the person that you're hosting. And you could start partnerships and relationships, you know, that way. And that's it. That's what I would do.
Yeah. I love it. And that's part of this whole like generation right with about building your personal brand, you know, right? Yes, you create that 100%. Trust, you attract them, and then one day they might come and they might follow you, they might like some of your stuff. And then if you're lucky, you're gonna grab their email address and then you can nurture them, you know, to somehow like buy one of your products or come to your clinic, right? So
that's it. Yeah, I mean, guys, it wasn't like that when I started in 2005. 2005. The way I had to do awareness is I had to get in my car, I had to drive from clinic to clinic, business to business, drop off flyers, drop off script pads, and beg. That's it. Today, I literally can just pull this thing up. Hey, what's up, baby? And that's it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Insane. Yeah. I'm just curious, like right now, like when I look at kind of what's going on like in our industry and everything going on with like inflation, everyone's worried about like recession, there's declining reimbursements kind of going on, like the student loans, and there's wage pressure for owners, right? Every single person is looking for a side hustle to make money, you know? And so I'm super curious, you know, because you work with a lot of these type of people, right, Greg? You know, is there a world where a clinician can have a side hustle and a clinic owner could also grow a multi-million-dollar business? Can both of those coexist?
Yes, if they believe in partnership and collaboration. It can exist because I did it.
And what would that look like?
Okay, so let's talk about the practice owner first, right?
One of the most frequently asked questions I get is, how can you help me grow my clinic? So every year we put together an annual event called the Clinic Boss Summit. It's basically the Woodstock for everyone interested in growing or selling your multi-million-dollar practice. You're going to meet over 300 of the world's top clinic owners. The network is going to be insane. It's 3 days. You're going to learn everything from marketing, finance, HR, recruitment, and sell your clinic. And the best part, it's going to be Orlando, Florida on January the 26th. It's one of my favorite cities to hang out in January because you get the sunshine, palm trees, and best theme parks. We usually sell every year within the first couple of months, so grab your tickets now. Go to clinicexcel.com to grab more details.
So the clinic owner would have to be open and be very clear of what they're looking for in a staff therapist. So this is how I did it. I'm only going to tell you guys the way that I did it. Okay, the way that I did it was I would let people know very clearly that if you're going to come and work at my clinic, there is no limit to ascension, but that's only for certain people that will do certain activities. If you want to just get your base pay, then just do evals, see the patients, do good work on them, take care of them, and that's it. But there's a unique opportunity here at our facility, and that is you can actually come up with a service that would help people beyond the traditional plan of care of physical therapy. Okay, and that could be you coming up with a fitness regimen. That could be you doing some type of monthly membership. That could be you selling products. That could be you selling supplements. And there's just different things that I would approve that we can have in the clinic. And if either A, you came up with that idea, or you're willing to take the things that I had, basically you would get commission. You would get a percentage of the sales from that. So I had therapists making, anywhere between a couple $100 a month all the way up to $5,000 a month additional because we had those things in play. So if you're a therapist and you have a side hustle, and that side hustle could complement the types of clients that are coming to the facility that you are working at, you guys can collaborate. It's basically called an affiliate partnership. I do it with my students, I do it with my clients, and I did it with my staff. And so it now put me in a position where I didn't have to always worry about giving raises because your raise was there. You make as much as you want. You basically became an intrapreneur inside of my entrepreneurial business. So an entrepreneur is the person who owns and operates a business, but is willing to do so at a high financial risk. The intrapreneur takes ownership and operates a portion of the business. They just don't have to do so at financial risk. Their reward isn't as big, but their downside is very little as well, right? Yeah. I take all the upside and the downside, and they don't have to worry about that. So that's how you do it.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. And so in essence, like it's more of like a revenue share or a commission, right? You know, is that
you got it. It's basically a rev share, and it's based off of products, services, opportunities that will accelerate either the rehabilitative process, or when they finish the rehab process, it's their next step of what they would do after. So in my clinics, the way that
if they did home care. What happens if they did home care? Would you be okay with that as well? Or like, you know, or
yeah, I mean, you could do home care. I mean, like I didn't. What I did was I had these fit clubs. So basically I had a company, it was Team Beachbody. They had supplements, they had products. I basically put their products, I love their products because I use their products. I put their products in our facility. A lot of their products and their eating programs, I thought were extremely beneficial for my clients. And basically, if any of my therapists were able to sell their packages with their plan of care when we started the rehab, then they got a portion of that. And then once they finished their plan of care with us, if they went into our fitness programs, whether it was in the clinic or at home, they got a cut of it as well. So there's so many different ways you can do it, but that's what I did.
Interesting. And do you see a lot of clinics doing that or not really?
Not a lot. No, not a lot, because I think people are super afraid. You know, they're afraid of like the employee. I don't know. It's like really weird. It's like a lot of employees, you know, they haven't even allowed themselves to think of what other ways they can provide value because they feel like it's not even available. So the practice owner hasn't even told them that this is available to them, because in many cases it's not available to them, right? And so, you know, I think there are some people doing it and they're doing it successfully, but I think the majority of people aren't, because they're not even thinking in this way.
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting. When I look at your Instagram channel or some of your social media stuff, you talk about how, like, you know, I think a common message you see a lot is like, don't trade time for money, and there's different ways of like making money, right? You know, and and so what are you seeing as trending right now that's working, like, you know, like that's working well for these clinicians that are maybe tired and sick of like working 40 hours a week as an employee, working somewhere, like they're sitting on 150,000 of student like that. Like what other options are there? And then once again, these clinics are suffocated by these declining like reimbursements, right? Like what options are there for a clinician right now coming out of school? It's like tough, right?
It's tough. Yeah, it sure is. I don't know how they're going to get out of it doing the traditional way. I mean, there's only so much money you can make just treating a patient, and that's it. Like, you know, I know there's cash-based therapists. Like, I mean, how high can you go? At some point, you're going to outprice your market. You know what I mean? You're going to go 500 a session. I mean, and by the way, you can do that. They're just going to come for like 1 or 2 times. Most people can't afford that coming consistently. So here's what I recommend. What I recommend is either first of all, package everything in a result instead of trading your time for money. So I believe in actually doing a solutions-based offer, meaning that I don't believe in selling packages. I don't believe in, hey, I'm going to see you for $200 and I'll see you each time. I'll see you $200. Nope. I talk about results. this is at the end of the day, this is the result that you want. I realize that most patients have been screwed over by most providers. They've told them, they've sold them on a bag of lies. They've seen them for 2, 3, 4 months, and they never got a result. So what I tell my clients to do is sell them on the results. And if you don't get them the results, and give yourself a lot of time to get them the result. If you don't get them the result, give them some type of guarantee, whether it's their money back, give them the ability to continue to work. So that's how you do it.
So this is selling them a program with a money back guarantee. If they can't play pickleball again within 6 weeks, like they're going to get their money back. Is that what
you get your money back? Yes, that's it. That's it. It's so simple.
Is anyone actually doing this? I would love this because like it's interesting. Like in our business, this is what we would do, right? You know, but I've never seen anyone actually apply this at a whether it's physical therapy clinic or a chiropractic clinic or a massage clinic. Like how many people are actually realistically doing this?
This is what I do for all my coaching. This is what I teach people to do in the clinics. Just do a solutions based. All right, that's it. Okay. I know you have, Chelsea, because you're my client. All right, so that's what you do. It's so simple. It's so simple. It's like this is it. So you
sell the package, right? Am I right? Is that right, Greg? You sell it's not the package. You sell the.
Yeah. I don't even call it a package because I know that people with packages, they want packages discounted. Nope, I'm selling you a solution. It's a program. Okay. That's it. It's a program. Okay. It's a program. And the program is this. I believe that I am going to be able to get you this result. Okay? I do this in all my programs.
Give me an example. Like,
okay,
what would be an example result? Like, is it like playing pickleball again? Like, you know, is that an example?
Yeah, you're going to be able to play pickleball in 6 weeks. Based on me doing the evaluation, yep, I believe we can get you back on a pickleball court in 6 weeks. Yep, okay, you have an ACL, you have an ACL reconstruction. I know this is going to be a 6-month ordeal. Look, in 6 months, you're going to be back on the field. You're going to be back on the field and you're going to be playing. We're going to be able to do this. We're going to do this over this time. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to let insurance or I'm not going to let anything dictate how we are going to do this. But this is what you're going to pay. Okay. There's not going to be this happened with insurance. This happened with the. No, this is what we're going to do. Now, we can also, the goal is to get, this is the key right here, Rick. The goal is to get this done sooner rather than later.
Yes. So give them an incentive.
Exactly. So if you are let's say you're a pelvic health therapist and the person's coming into you and they're pee-peeing all over themselves because they can't hold their bladder. Look, I'm going to work with you until you are no longer pee-peeing on yourself. That's the goal. That's what we're going to do. Okay. Now, our goal, what I believe is if I can't do this, this is where I put in the date. If I can't do this in 8 weeks or less, you get either your money back or you can do a modified guarantee where I will continue to work with you until I actually get it done and I won't charge you any money. But my goal is to get this done sooner rather than later. So now, if I get someone to stop pee-peeing on themselves after a week, they're happy with me, not sad. Yeah. By the way, I'm happy too because I just got $2,000, $3,000 and I only had to see you 2 or 3 times. So best case scenario is I'm getting paid $1,000 an hour. Worst case scenario is I'm going to see them for the full 6 weeks or 8 weeks. Either way, I win.
Yeah. Well, not if you do a full money back guarantee, right?
And here's the deal. If you feel very confident, which most therapists on Instagram, apparently, according to them, they are the greatest thing since sliced bread. That's
Instagram. That's Instagram.
Oh my God. I know what's amazing.
Most physical therapists I know have what is it? Imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Oh my God. If I saw you, I could get you better in 2 visits. Okay, smarty pants. Well, then put your money behind it. Yeah, exactly. You fraud. Get out of here. Get out of here with that nonsense.
Dude, is, you know what? Hey, Greg, you know, this thing they talk about, I thought about this 10 years ago and I was telling this to my ops guys, you know, I was like, dude, like we should totally do this. But they're like, they can't get it might work if you have a small cash practice with you and another person, but is this scalable if you own a business that does like $1 or $2 million a year?
Right. Yeah. I believe it's scalable. I think it's much more scalable. And I'll tell you why. how hard is it? Just think about it for a cash-based practice owner. How hard is, or even insurance-based? I'm just thinking for myself when I wasn't doing this. How hard is it to go from you being solo to getting 2, 3, 4 therapists? It's very difficult, and I'll tell you why. Because everybody wants to see you. Now, the question is, why does everybody want to see you? Well, because you are anchored to the result. Everybody thinks you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. So they inherently believe that without you, they can't get the result. So it's very difficult to be able to grow and scale. But when you are selling the result, nobody cares if it's me or you. Okay, here, Rick, like right now, outside of my house, I'm looking right there, and on the other side of the house, there is a full landscaping company that's doing work at my house. They're charging me $7,000 to basically redo all of our landscaping. Right. So here's the deal. There's 2 dudes out there, and I think there's 1 lady. You think I care who's out there? Am I asking like I don't care? I just want it done. The reason why I use that company is because they said that they can come out this week. I used that company, and they said that they would be here on Friday. They came here today, so they exceeded my expectations. And I'm not going to give them more money if they take a week to do it. If they get it all done today or tomorrow, I'm actually going to be more satisfied. So if landscapers are doing this, why are we not doing this? I mean, it just makes sense, right? I don't care who comes out here. I'm talking about the results. But what we have done inherently as allied healthcare professionals is we had sold ourselves. And we have sold people that more of us is more valuable to you. Unfortunately, that has made us tired, that has made us exhausted, and that has made us broke. So you have to resell. You got to redecide. What do you want to package? I don't want to package myself. I want that I will get you a result. And by the way, I recently just did this with my company at Smart Success Healthcare. I was the main consultant and the main coach, but one thing I've done is I've always sold results. So even though I coach 75% less than I did a year ago, my programs have tripled because I've always sold people on the result. So as long as they get the result, they don't care if it's me or anybody else. I just got to get them result. They want the system. That's it. Wow.
Dude, I love this. This is insane. This is like light bulb moment, like sell the results, and this is crazy. I quite like it. I see a lot of chiropractors do this, like, they'll spend a boatload of money on Facebook ads and call it neuropathy, and they come in and they're selling the result of a $5,000 plan, or $10,000 plan,
Right.
And it's the exact same thing. Now, the challenge that I see is that a lot of these clinicians may feel like this is like a hard sell, it's like a hard selling of like a high ticket item, because they're so used to like, relying on the insurance company. They don't want to talk about the money. Like this is like high ticket sales, right?
Right. Well, I think I actually would have to rebuke that. And I would actually say this. I would say it's less selling. It's less selling. Okay. Because when you're doing it the other way, every single visit, you're having to convince them, you're doing great, come back again.
Yeah.
You're doing great, come back again. You're doing great, come back again. And this person's like, actually, I really don't feel any better. Yeah, but this. You're selling every single time. All I'm doing is I'm saying, listen, here's the deal. This is what I want to do. I don't want to talk about money anymore. I just want to get you the result. And I know you're sick and tired. You're sick and tired and exhausted of being pulled around. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. And it hasn't happened. So I want this to be the last time that you have to deal with this. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to work with you. I truly believe after evaluating you, we're going to be able to get X, Y, and Z done. And I truly believe in my heart of hearts that we should be able to get this done in 8 weeks or less, 6 weeks or less, 4 weeks or less. And I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. That's how confident I feel. Number one, they're going to realize, I'm talking to patient client, nobody's ever done this. Nobody's ever done this. Everybody's always said to them, yeah, let's start. We'll see how things go. Yeah, let's start. Let's see. So they're just constant with doubt. Yeah, let's just wing it. Let's just see how things go. I think this might happen. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. So if you're in, if you're all in, I'm all in. Okay? You're all in, I'm out. Now, here's the beautiful thing. Because you actually, Greg, how can people create side hustles? When you do that and you create a package like that, now you can add the side hustles in. So the beautiful thing is now I'm giving them a package. Now I'm asking myself, all right, how am I going to get them this result? One of the ways I know we can get them a result is by making sure that we are giving them guidance, accountability, community, and tools. Okay. That's what you got to give people. The tools usually is you, right? And it might be physical tools, but a lot of times it's your hands or this or that or whatnot. But the guidance is what I know. Okay. That's what I know and how I'm going to convey that to people. The accountability could be through online. The community can be through online. The guidance can also be through online. So what I do is I house my online programs to the clients inside of the package. You get the online programs with the package. You get the online programs for the duration of this offer. And then if you want to continue to get those things, you pay month over month for it.
I'm sold. I'm sold.
That's how you do it.
This is the continuity program, right? This is the recurring revenue model, right? Yeah.
Rick, so can I ask you this? What are one of the things that we know with marketing? If you do not have recurring revenue in your business, if we're trying to sell, right? And I know that you've been a part of sales. Rick, what are they looking for in a sale? They're looking for their database, they're looking for profit, and they're looking for what recurring revenue do you have? So if you don't have recurring revenue in your business, you don't have a business. You have a hustle.
Yeah.
Okay? You must find ways to be able to put recurring revenue inside of your business model. And you should be able to do this.
Theory makes sense, Greg, because I've talked to a lot of people that like over the past like decade, talking about this recurring revenue model and memberships and blah, blah, blah. But the execution of it has been really low,
Right. I think the big reason why the execution has been low is because people have been trying to sell the membership. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Here, let me give you an example. I have a Tesla. When I got the Tesla, what they did, and this is basically what they do with every recurring revenue membership model that does work. Because let's face it, guys, pretty much everything you're buying, the average person is currently subscribed to 12 recurring revenue memberships a month. Okay? I'm going to give you an example of one of mine, Tesla. So what Tesla did was this. They gave me the car. I went to the Tesla dealership, got the car, and they showed me all these amazing features. The car does karaoke, does this, it does that. It's got Netflix in there. Okay, but what they don't tell you is that you can only watch those things if you're hooked up to their data streaming service. So here's what they do. They give you their data streaming service for 2 months. It's included in the package of the car. The car is the results-based offer. Inside of the results-based offer is 2 months of their recurring revenue membership model.
Yeah.
Okay. So what they do is they make you use it and get comfortable with it. So that now you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to be able to watch Netflix when I'm charging my car. Okay. So now you start watching Netflix and charging your car. When the 2 months comes up, says you can't watch Netflix anymore if you get rid of this, you're like, hell no.
Yeah.
Of course I got to use this. That's how it works.
All right, dude, that was insane. Right, this is like a mic drop, right? This is like a mic drop moment right here, Dude,
that's how you do it, guys.
Yeah. Dude, this is insane. I really enjoy this talk because I think both me and you, like, we love marketing, we love sales, we love like recurring revenue models, and it's just been disappointing over the years that this industry is still so resistant to making like these changes that we've been talking about. And it's cool to see that you're actually having success with your students or people in your community. So
yeah,
it's super cool.
I think it's the fastest way to be able to make more money, but it's not just about making more money. It's being able to make more money in less time. So that's the whole thing. Like people are tired, Rick. They're tired. They're exhausted. And it's the fastest way to be able to get a win. It's just a mindset shift, and then just knowing how to execute it out right.
Yeah, cool. All right, one last question as we wrap up. So you have four. You have 4 daughters? Is that correct? Or
I have 4 kids, 2 daughters, 2 sons. Yeah, 20, 17, 14, and 10.
Okay. What are you doing right now to prepare them for the real world? I'm super curious. I have an 8-year-old, right now we're traveling to Italy. I'm world schooling and homeschooling our daughter right now.
That's awesome.
I'm just super
We
curious, like,
homeschool as
what are
well.
you doing? What's that?
We homeschool as well. We homeschool our kids as well. One
All
is in
four?
college now, all four.
Okay.
Well,
wow.
we
Okay.
did all four, but one is in her third year at University of Central Florida. So yeah.
Okay. Do you care if your kids do you care if your kids go to university or not really?
No, I don't care. I mean, I don't care.
Okay.
She wanted to, and she says she wants to be a physician assistant.
Okay.
She said she at least wants to start that, but she's 3 years in, and she's like, I don't think this is gonna work. I was like, look, hey, listen, at least you went on their dime. You got a scholarship. I didn't mind. You got to figure life out. You know what I mean? So do what you need to do. And I don't want them to feel forced that they have to do because I wasn't gonna be an entrepreneur. So it's like, go figure your life out, and I'll be here to support you. So what am I doing to get them ready for the real world?
I'm trying to learn from you. Like, my daughter's 8, and we live in a tough world right now. Like, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. And so, but yeah, I'm always like, I want to pick like successful people and just kind of learn what are they doing to prepare their kids for real life.
Yeah. So, here's the one thing I'll say. I'm going to give you what I'm doing, but there's no proof that what I'm doing is right, because my kids are still living underneath me. And the one that doesn't, I'm still kind of paying her way, besides her school paying way. So my kids might be total losers. I have no idea. Okay. They're wonderful kids though. They're great kids. All right. But this is what I'm doing right now. I'm just being honest. Like, I want to be honest with you guys. Like with business, yeah, man.
Should we cut this part out, Greg?
No. It's fine. I love my kids, and even kids, if you're listening, even if you're a loser, Daddy loves you. Okay, I love you to death. I love you to pieces. You can always come for Thanksgiving. All right. Okay. So this is what I'm doing, man. What I'm doing right now is I'm just making sure that my kids understand that we live in a value-based world. Okay, if you're bringing people value, there is money to be made. Okay, there's money to be made, and you'll be able to earn a living for yourself. But it's not about what you're passionate about. It's what you can do to solve other people's problems. So let's talk about each child and what they're doing right now. Okay. My oldest one, my 20-year-old, she works a little bit for Smart Success, healthcare. When she's got time in her semester, I'm having her just be one of the people that helps to moderate my communities. I'm just trying to get her to understand how to give people value.
Love it.
Okay. All right. So that's number one. All right.
Marketing, entrepreneurial skills,
marketing, entrepreneurial skills, etc. Okay. My 17-year-old, my son. So my son is kind of the one that's like, I don't think I want to do this whole college thing, but I'm just telling him, listen, what I need you to do is I need you to make sure that you're working on your communication skills, and you understand that you're in a season right now of exploration. So I want you to explore. He doesn't know what he's passionate about yet. So I said, RJ, I need you to explore. I need you to try things. I need you to do things. I need you, he loves NBA 2K. He loves video games. So he's learned how to create graphics for people's YouTube channels, some of the big YouTubers, and he makes money that way, right? So he makes money by creating graphics for YouTubers and their thumbnails, and he can make 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, right? And like each time he does that. So he makes enough money to take care of his addiction to video games. So again, he's learned how to bring value to the marketplace. Okay, my 14-year-old, that's a girl, okay? That's Elena. So Elena, again, I feel like now she's of age where it's like, hey, I want you to start to learn how to bring people value. So she's like, Daddy, I don't really know how to do that. I was like, well, what are you passionate about? Well, she says, Daddy, I'm getting into doing crochet stuff, right? So she crochets, right? And so she learned it. She's starting to, I wouldn't say master it, but she does really cool, like she did this snail that looks like an ice cream cone. She did a narwhal. She did this, she did that. And so she's now creating she's creating her Etsy store. We just sold her first 2 crochet animals for $55. And now she's making more. So she's 14 and she made $55 from her things. And now it's just a matter of how many she's creating. She's created a TikTok channel. She's got people now looking at her stuff. So again, it's just creating value. And then my 10-year-old, he loves soccer, right? We actually got to take him to soccer practice in a little bit. He loves soccer. Like, that's his thing. Okay, great. That's wonderful that you love soccer, Aiden, but we got to figure out how you're going to create value. So he said, you know what I'm going to do, Daddy? I'm going to do YouTube. I said, well, his mom's like, no, I don't want you on YouTube. He's like, Mommy, what if I do YouTube but I don't show my face? So what he does is he does these versus videos. So it's like Neymar versus Mbappe, right? Or Messi versus this. So he does these things, and he's been able to build up his little YouTube channel, and he just does YouTube shorts. So again, I'm just trying to get the kids to understand that we live in a value-based world. You knowing how to do algebra or geometry does not mean that you are not going to be broke, because there's a lot of people that know calculus, they know all that stuff, and they are broke. So you guys have to learn. You got to find something that's of value to other people, and just start the process of it. And I don't expect them to have it figured out. They might not have it figured out till they're 25, 30, but if I can get them to train them that way, then I feel like I'm doing my job as a dad.
Oh, geez. This is great. You know, I think me and you're aligned with like how we want to raise and raise our children. This is amazing.
Right.
So
yeah,
super, super cool. You know,
awesome.
Wow. Geez, that was we're at 50 minutes right now. Geez. So we're gonna wrap up, Greg. Tell me, why don't you tell the people of the community, like, how can they find out more about you? Right.
Yeah, man. Greg Todd PT is where I'm at on Instagram. So, and by the way, as I tell you these things, I'm going to teach you something. All right. If you're ever trying to get into someone's world, find out which platform, if any, that they kind of share what's going on in their world. Right. So for me, that's Instagram. You can look at my stories, you can look at my posts, but in my stories, you can kind of see my life. So if you find me interesting, go to Instagram, Greg Todd PT. Okay. If you want to just learn stuff, Facebook, that's Greg Todd. YouTube, that's at Greg Todd Unscripted now. TikTok at Greg Todd PT. And those are the places. My website is smartsuccesshealthcare.com. That's my company site. And then gregtoddtv.com is my personal site. That's it.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. You know, and I'm super excited. I'm super excited actually in January. Hopefully I'll see you in Florida, right, Greg?
Yeah, man. I'm really hoping the same time your event is my daughter's birthday, but my daughter lives in Orlando. So it's like a 50-50 right now that I'm going to be there. So I'm trying to so anyways, I'm really
Greg, if not, because you know, I'm going to fly back from Europe at that time. I'm going to be there probably like a week before. If not, like let's meet up and let's go grab dinner or something and hang out.
Yeah, man. In person. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Yes.
This will be your 5-year reunion, right, Greg?
Yes, it'll be our 5-year reunion. That's right. That'd be awesome.
Sounds good. Okay. Well, thanks for your time. That was amazing. And I'm going to keep on chatting with Instagram. And so everyone check out Greg, and he massive takeaways today. So super honored.
Appreciate you, Rick.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Greg.
You got it, man. All right, man. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Okay, bye.